Hello, children. Have a wonderful morning. In previous story, you have heard that Lord Krishna has reached Gokul. Now listen what happens next. When Kansa heard that the eighth child had been born to Vasudeva and Devki, he ran to the jail. Where is the eighth child? Kansa roared. Devki pleaded. She is a baby girl. How can she harm a mighty king like you? Please don't kill her. But Kansa picked Yogmaya up. Die now! Thundered evil Kamsa as he threw Yogamaya to the ground. The baby girl rose in the air. She was goddess Yoganidra, who had been sent by Lord Vishnu to earth to teach Kansa a lesson. O foolish Kansa, the one who will destroy you has been already born. You cannot win. Mark my words. You are going to die. Evil Kansa gaped at her. She laughed and vanished into the sky. Kansa vainly boasted to his evil friends, I fear no one except my Guru Jarasandha. I will kill any strong male child to safeguard myself. The demon king began to hatch evil plots to kill Lord Krishna. Hello, children. Good morning. Are you enjoying the stories? In previous story, you have heard that Yogamaya wants Kansa. Now listen the next part. When goddess Yogamaya told Kansa his days were numbered, the demon king realized that it was futile to jail Devki and Vasudeva. The god who will destroy me is already born. I should release Devki and Vasudeva, Kansa thought. The couple was allowed to leave the jail. Vasudeva anxiously awaited news about his two sons. One day, he received a visit from Nanda. Vasudeva was happy to see Nanda in Mathura. Oh Nanda, I am blessed to meet you, Vasudeva said. Vasudeva then told Nanda to guard both the boys carefully. Please have a Namakaran, that is naming ceremony, for both of them. Do not choose Vrindavan. Stay in Gokul only, said Vasudeva. What is wrong with Vrindavan? Asked Nanda curiously. When Vasudeva told him that evil Kansa might harm the boys, Nanda agreed to remain in Gokul. Vasudeva also told Nanda about why Kansa wanted to destroy Lord Krishna. Nanda realized how important it was to protect both the boys. Good morning, children. Here I am coming with the new story. In previous story, you have heard Vasudeva meets Nanda. Now, you listen what happened then. You must be curious, na? So, listen it. After taking leave of Vasudeva in Mathura, Nanda climbed into a palanquin with his child and wife. He told his wife Yashoda about what Vasudeva had said. I am fearful for our son and his brother. If Vasudeva has warned us about Vrindavan, we should heed it. We should remain in Gokul, said Yashoda, after she had heard Nanda. When they reached Gokul, they were happy. Cows stood with their calves as cowherds played with one another. The sweet smell of freshly churned butter and pure curd was everywhere. Beautiful gopis shone in brightly colored saris and flowers bloomed by the wayside. Nanda and Yashoda felt joy to see their children chuckle with laughter upon reaching Gokul. Lord Krishna's radiance was bright. His eyes shone like the stars, and his sweet smile enchanted everyone. Lord Krishna's mighty powers would soon reveal to the people of Gokul as well as to Nanda and Yashoda. Good morning, children. Now it's time for naming ceremony of both the children. Nanda and Yashoda arranged for the naming ceremony of both the children. A learned sage, Garga Muni, arrived for the boys' naming ceremony. Delighted at such joyful tidings, Yashoda proudly exclaimed, "Our son will be named by the revered sage. This is an honor to us." When the sage saw both the boys, he declared, "The two boys before you are sent from heaven to destroy evil on earth. Many demons will attack them, but the two boys will prove victorious every time." Both Nanda and Yashoda were overjoyed to hear this. Gargamuni also said, "Both these boys will ride this land of evil forces." A slight twinge of fear rose in Yashoda's heart as she thought of the demons. Who would attack the two children? The thought that Gargamuni had predicted the death of all the demons allayed her fears. Gargamuni named the elder boy Sankarshana, that is Balrama, and the younger boy Krishna. Good morning, everyone. Today you will listen how baby overturns bullock cart. Yashoda watched over Lord Krishna with care. One day she left Lord Krishna near a bullock cart while she went to bath in river Yamuna. Lord Krishna was blissfully asleep for some time. Suddenly he woke up and moved his arms and legs fretfully. His leg got caught in the wheel of the cart. The gopis, watching him, became afraid. They feared that the cart would hurt the infant. To their amazement, the cart was overturned. Yashoda heard the noise and ran towards Lord Krishna. She was relieved to find him safe. When she saw the overturned cart, she questioned the gopis. They narrated the whole episode to Yashoda. Yashoda told Nanda about the miracle. Both were astounded about what had happened. Their son was not an ordinary mortal, and they knew he was powerful. But this showed them how strong he was, and that even evil demons would quail before his might. Good morning, children. Today you will listen the story of how Lord Krishna kills Putana. Kansa instructed all demons to search the entire land for Lord Krishna. One of the most powerful demonesses, Putana, found out that Lord Krishna was in Gokul. She took the form of a bird and arrived at Gokul. Then she changed into a gopi and visited Lord Krishna's house. "I will feed poisonous milk to the 8 sons and he will die, she thought. All of Gokul was asleep except Lord Krishna. She took Lord Krishna in her arms and started to feed him poisoned milk. Lord Krishna sucked the life out of her, and the evil demons fell to the ground with a terrible wail. Yashoda and Nanda awoke and came running out of their home. They saw the dead demons lying on the ground and realized what had happened. Henceforth, Yashoda watched over Lord Krishna with special care. Good morning, children. Today you will listen the story about why Yashoda became worried. Lord Krishna was once playing with his brother Balrama in the courtyard. Both babies were very young. Lord Krishna mischievously ate a handful of clay. Balrama said loudly, "Oh, mother, come quickly! Krishna is eating mud. He has put wet clay into his mouth." Yashoda cried out in alarm, "Oh, Krishna, what have you done? Did you eat the dirty mud?" she asked him. Lord Krishna shook his head innocently. Balrama said, "He is lying, oh mother. I saw him eat the mud." Yashoda said, "Open your mouth at once, Krishna. I must see if Balrama is right." Lord Krishna's eyes twinkled and there was a smile on his face as he opened his mouth. Yashoda was amazed to see the entire universe in his mouth. Yashoda remembered Garga Muni's words as well as Vasudeva's warning about Kansa. She now believed her son was not a human but divine. Good morning, everyone. Today's story is Trinivatra is defeated by Lord Krishna. Trinivatra was a monstrous demon. Lord Krishna was just a toddler when his wicked demon was sent by evil Kamsa to destroy him. Trinivatra was a demon who could create whirlwinds and cause storms. How easy it will be for me to kill this infant Krishna, thought the demon. Soon he reached Gokul to destroy him. As he saw Lord Krishna come near him, evil Trinivatra emerged from the shadows and attacked him. The demon tossed the Lord into a strong whirlwind and took him away from the home. Yashoda and all the gopis were frantic with worry, for they could not find Lord Krishna anywhere. "Where is my son?" cried Yashoda. Lord Krishna smiled as he tossed the demon against a rock and destroyed him. After a long search, Yashoda and the gopis found Lord Krishna playing on the dead demon's chest. Yashoda joyously picked her son up and hugged him with relief. Good morning, everyone. Today you will listen the story of Butter Thief. Lord Krishna had fondness for butter or makhan. He would often look for pots of curd and butter. As Gokul was a place where butter was churned by the gopis regularly, Lord Krishna always managed to steal butter. Good morning, everyone. Today's story is Krishna uproots giant Arjuna and Amla trees. As Lord Krishna grew up, he became more and more mischievous. One day, Yashoda got tired of his pranks and tied him to the okli, that is, vessel for grounding spices. Oh Krishna, I will tie you so that you may not go away. Now let me see how you create trouble, said Yashoda. She went off inside the home to do some work. Lord Krishna smiled and walked while tied to the okli. There were two giant Arjuna and Amla trees next to each other. Lord Krishna walked through the trees tied with the okli and got stuck between them. Such was his power that both the trees on either side were uprooted as the gopis present watched in shock. A gopi ran and informed Yashoda about this. Yashoda ran to where Lord Krishna stood with both the trees on either side. She realized that Lord Krishna's power has no bounds. She hugged him tight as he laughed in his mother's arm. Lord Krishna would soon face mighty demons in his battle against evil. Good morning, children. Today you will listen the story of Lord Krishna. Why Nanda and Yashoda moved to Vrindavan. After the repeated attacks of demons, Yashoda was worried about the safety of Lord Krishna. We must move away from Gokul, said Yashoda to Nanda worriedly. Why should we do that? Asked the chief of cowherds, Nanda. If we live here, there might be more demon attacks on Krishna. I am afraid for him, said Yashoda. Our son is not an ordinary human, so why worry? Asked Nanda. We already know this, but he is just a young boy, replied Yashoda. Then Yashoda recollected and narrated how Lord Krishna's mouth contained the entire universe and how he had defeated dangerous demons. Nanda agreed to move to Vrindavan for his son's safety. Both husband and wife, along with Lord Krishna and Balrama, moved to lush Vrindavan. Yashoda was content in the hope that her son would be safe in Vrindavan, though she knew he was a